The Silent Watchers. The galactic hegemony's observation post on Titan gleamed like a jewel against Saturn's rings, its crystalline structures housing what the aliens considered a minor anthropological mission. Senior observer Caxtil adjusted his sensory appendages as he prepared another routine report about the primitive species on the third planet. His kind had washed Earth for over a century, documenting humanity's stumbling steps toward space travel with a mixture of amusement and condescension. Another failed attempt at achieving quantum entanglement, Caxtil noted in his report, watching as a research facility in Geneva powered down its experimental drives. Species shows persistent determination despite continuous setbacks. Recommendation: maintain current observation protocols. No intervention necessary. What Caxtil and his fellow observers failed to notice was the subtle distortion field surrounding the facility, carefully designed to mask its true nature. Deep beneath the surface, Dr. Sarah Chen stood before a successful quantum bridge, its swirling energies contained within a field of her own design. She smiled as she transmitted the encrypted data to similar facilities hidden across the globe. The hegemony's arrogance had become humanity's greatest asset. While alien observers documented what they believed to be failed experiments in primitive technology, Earth's unified scientific community worked in secret, shielded by carefully crafted illusions. The world's governments had united behind closed doors decades ago, when they first detected the alien presence in the solar system. General Marcus Rivera stood in the central command hub of Project Nightshade, surrounded by holographic displays showing the true extent of human advancement. Quantum computers processed data at speeds the hegemony thought impossible for Earth's technology level. Antimatter containment facilities powered a hidden network of manufacturing centers that stretched from the Mariana Trench to the Moon's far side. Status report on the Lazarus Protocol, Rivera asked, his voice steady despite the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. Dr. Chen's hologram appeared beside him, her avatar flickering with encrypted data streams. Phase 3 is complete. The quantum mesh network now covers 98% of our solar system. Any hegemony ships passing through will only see what we want them to see. And Project Prometheus. The prototype exceeds all expectations. We've successfully integrated the dark matter drive with the quantum shield array. The ship can effectively rewrite local spacetime around itself. In theory, it could outmaneuver anything in the known galaxy. Rivera nodded, studying the classified footage from the latest test flight. The prototype vessel, barely visible against the void of space, moved in ways that defied conventional physics. It was humanity's answer to a question the hegemony didn't even know had been asked. What happens when you combine human ingenuity with the desperate need to survive? The observation post on Titan continued its routine surveillance, unaware that beneath the surface of the primitive world they watched, humanity had already surpassed much of their technology. Earth's apparent struggles with basic spaceflight were carefully choreographed performances designed to maintain the illusion of technological inferiority. In the hegemony's grand archive, Earth was classified as a Category 3 developing world, notable only for its unusual biological diversity and the tenacity of its dominant species. Their anthropologists theorized it would take humanity at least another century to achieve reliable interplanetary travel, and perhaps a millennium to develop anything approaching hegemony technology. Dr. Chen's team had achieved reliable interstellar travel 5 years ago. The deception went deeper than technology. Earth's apparent political divisions, its seemingly chaotic mix of competing nations and ideologies, was now largely theater. The real decisions were made by the United Earth Council, a secret body of leaders from every nation, working in concert to prepare humanity for its inevitable confrontation with the galaxy at large. As night fell over Geneva, Dr. Chen made her way through the hidden quantum transit system to the Prometheus testing facility beneath the Pacific Ocean. The prototype ship hung suspended in its enormous construction bay, its hull composed of materials that the hegemony had deemed theoretically impossible to manufacture. "Begin final integration sequence," she ordered, watching as robotic assemblers moved with precise coordination. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. In his observation post, Caxtil prepared to end another uneventful shift, confident in his species' superiority and Earth's continued technological stagnation. He never noticed the quantum fluctuations that indicated a human vessel testing its engines far beyond Pluto's orbit, achieving speeds that would have shattered his understanding of physics. The greatest deception in galactic history was about to enter its final phase. Humanity had learned long ago that the best place to hide was in plain sight, dismissed and underestimated by those who thought themselves superior. But the time for hiding was coming to an end. General Rivera stood before the United Earth Council, his expression grave as he delivered his report. The hegemony's expansion continues. Their colonial fleets have entered the Orion Spur. At their current pace, they'll reach our solar system within 5 years. Are we ready? Asked the council chair, her hologram flickering with encrypted data. Rivera allowed himself a small smile. We've been ready for the past decade. The only question now is, do we wait for them to come to us, or do we show them exactly what humanity is capable of? The council chambers fell silent as the implications hung in the air. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, building in secret, advancing beyond what their watchers believed possible. The game of deception was about to end, and the galaxy would never be the same. Project Aurora. The quantum forge beneath Mount Erebus pulsed with barely contained energy as the final components of humanity's first dedicated warship took shape. Unlike the prototype Prometheus, the Aurora was built for a single purpose: to demonstrate humanity's true capabilities to an unsuspecting galaxy. Commander Elena Santos watched through protected viewing panels as automated systems assembled the vessel's quantum core. After 15 years of leading combat simulations and theoretical battles against hegemony tactics, she would be Aurora's first captain. The ship represented everything humanity had achieved in secret, and everything the hegemony believed impossible. Final systems check is green, reported Dr. Chen through the quantum comm. The dark matter matrix is stable, and the reality distortion field is operating within expected parameters. Santos nodded, her attention fixed on the massive vessel taking shape before her. What's the status on the weapon systems? The gravitational lance exceeds all test parameters. In simulations, it can collapse a hegemony dreadnought's shields in under 3 seconds. The quantum missile system is equally promising. They won't know what hit them. The Aurora's development had been accelerated after long-range sensors detected increased hegemony activity in nearby systems. Their colonial fleets were expanding faster than predicted, and Earth's window of preparation was shrinking. But humanity had planned for this contingency, as they had planned for everything else. In high orbit around Mars, hidden beneath layers of quantum camouflage, the first wave of Earth's defense fleet was already assembled. Smaller than the Aurora, but no less lethal, these ships represented humanity's insurance policy. If the coming revelation of Earth's true capabilities led to conflict, the planet would not stand alone. General Rivera's hologram appeared in the command center, his expression grave. We've intercepted communications from the hegemony fleet. They're not just expanding. They're preparing for full annexation of this sector. Earth has been designated as a potential resource world. Santos felt her jaw tighten. How long? Their advance fleet will enter the solar system within 6 months. The main colonization force follows 3 months after that. Then we've run out of time for testing, Santos said, turning to face the assembled command staff. We need to launch now. The next 48 hours saw a flurry of activity across Earth's hidden facilities. The Aurora's launch would mark the end of humanity's masquerade, and every contingency had to be perfect. Quantum computers ran millions of battle simulations, analyzing every possible hegemony response to their revelation. In his observation post on Titan, Caxtil noted unusual energy readings from Earth's surface, but dismissed them as atmospheric anomalies. The hegemony's certainty in their technological superiority had become a blind spot that humanity had exploited for decades. That blind spot was about to cost them dearly. The Aurora's launch was scheduled for dawn over the Pacific. As the sun rose, Dr. Chen made her final adjustments to the quantum core. The ship's systems were unlike anything the hegemony had encountered, a fusion of technologies they had deemed impossible or impractical. "Remember," Santos addressed her crew through the ship's quantum comm system, "everything we've worked for, everything we've hidden, has led to this moment. The hegemony thinks they're coming to claim a primitive world. Instead, they're about to learn that humanity has surpassed them in ways they never imagined." The launch itself was a testament to human ingenuity. The Aurora rose from its hidden bay without a sound, its quantum shields bending light and reality around it. To any observer, human or alien, the Pacific Ocean remained calm and undisturbed. The most advanced warship ever created by human hands ascended into orbit, completely invisible to the hegemony's supposedly superior sensors. High above Earth, Santos settled into the command chair, surrounded by holographic displays showing tactical data and ship status. The Aurora's systems hummed with power that would have seemed magical to the hegemony scientists. But this was no magic. It was the result of human determination, ingenuity, and the unwavering drive to survive. "Set course for the edge of the solar system," Santos ordered. "Let's introduce ourselves to our uninvited guests." As the Aurora accelerated past Mars, its quantum wake briefly disrupted the camouflage hiding Earth's defense fleet. For a fraction of a second, hundreds of warships became visible, their hulls gleaming in the distant sunlight. By the time the hegemony's observers could focus their instruments on the anomaly, there was nothing to see but empty space. The greatest revelation in galactic history was about to begin, and humanity held all the cards. The hegemony's advance fleet would arrive expecting to find a primitive civilization ready for conquest. Instead, they would encounter a species that had turned decades of dismissal and underestimation into an advantage they never saw coming. "Quantum drive engaging," reported the Aurora's navigation officer. "Dark matter matrix stable. Reality distortion field at maximum efficiency." Santos allowed herself a small smile as the ship accelerated to speeds the hegemony had deemed impossible. "Send word to Earth. Project Aurora is officially underway." Behind them, Earth continued its peaceful rotation, its surface still showing the same primitive technology and political divisions that had fooled the hegemony for so long. But beneath that carefully maintained facade, humanity's true power was finally awakening. The game of deception was over. The time for revelation had begun. First contact's deception. The hegemony's advance fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system, their massive ships casting long shadows across the void. Fleet Commander Zexnar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, surveying what he expected to be an easy conquest. The preliminary reports from the observation posts had painted a clear picture: a primitive species, barely capable of reaching their own moon, ripe for integration into the hegemony's expanding empire. "Begin standard subjugation protocols," Zexnar ordered, his mandibles clicking with anticipation. "Launch the psychological warfare arrays. Let them see our might." Across Earth, holographic projections of the hegemony fleet appeared in the skies, a demonstration meant to terrify the primitive humans into submission. Cities across the globe witnessed massive warships seemingly hovering above them, their weapons clearly displayed in a show of overwhelming force. In the hidden command center beneath Geneva, General Rivera watched the display with cold amusement. "Right on schedule," he muttered, then activated the quantum comm. "Commander Santos, they're following the expected playbook. You have authorization to proceed with Phase 1. The Aurora hung silent in the shadows of Neptune's rings, its quantum camouflage rendering it completely invisible to the hegemony sensors. Commander Santos studied the tactical display, noting the fleet's formation. Just as their intelligence had predicted, the hegemony relied heavily on shows of force against what they considered inferior species. "All hands to battle stations," Santos ordered. "Prepare to execute Operation Hubris." The hegemony's psychological warfare continued as Zexanar's voice boomed across Earth's communications channels, translated into every human language. People of Earth, witness the might of the galactic hegemony. Your world has been chosen for integration into our glorious empire. Resistance is futile. Submit, and you will be granted the privilege of serving a greater cause. The response came not from Earth's surface, but from directly behind the hegemony fleet. The Aurora decloaked with deliberate slowness, its quantum shields creating a cascade of light that rippled across space. The ship's appearance was calculated for maximum psychological impact. Its sleek design and obvious technological sophistication, a direct challenge to everything the hegemony thought they knew about Earth. This is Commander Elena Santos of the Terran vessel Aurora. Her voice cut through the hegemony's broadcasts with perfect clarity. We've been expecting you. On the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, Zexnar's compound eyes widened in shock. His sensors were reporting technology that shouldn't exist, power readings that defied their understanding of physics. Impossible, he whispered. The observation posts. The reports. I'm afraid your intelligence is outdated, Santos continued, her voice carrying a hint of amusement. Earth is not the primitive world you believe it to be. We have watched you watching us, and we decided to let you see exactly what we wanted you to see. The Aurora's quantum shields flared, and suddenly the ship was no longer behind the hegemony fleet. It was in the middle of their formation, having crossed the distance instantly through locally distorted spacetime. This is your only warning, Santos declared. The Earth is not yours to claim. We are not yours to subjugate. Leave our solar system now, or we will be forced to demonstrate just how far humanity has advanced beyond your understanding. Zexnar's response was predictable, exactly as humanity's psychological profiles had predicted. Open fire, he commanded. Show these primitives the consequence of defiance. The hegemony fleet's weapons blazed, filling space with energy beams and plasma torpedoes. The Aurora didn't move. It didn't have to. The quantum shields absorbed every attack, the energy dissipating harmlessly into subspace. Very well, Santos said quietly. Lieutenant Chen, activate the gravitational lance. Target their flagship's propulsion systems only. Let's give them a demonstration. A beam of distorted spacetime lanced out from the Aurora, bypassing the Eternal Dominion's shields as if they didn't exist. The flagship's engines simply ceased to exist. The space they occupied folded in on itself with surgical precision. The entire hegemony fleet went silent. That was a warning shot, Santos announced. Your flagship is disabled but salvageable. Its crew is unharmed. This technology, which you thought impossible for us primitives to achieve, is but a fraction of humanity's true capabilities. On Earth, hidden defense platforms activated, their quantum signatures revealing themselves one by one. Hundreds of automated weapon systems, each capable of matching a hegemony dreadnought, emerged from their camouflage. The Sol system transformed before the aliens' eyes, revealing layer upon layer of defensive technology that had been hidden in plain sight. Return to your empire, Santos continued. Tell them what you witnessed here. Tell them that Earth is not what they thought. Tell them that humanity has surpassed their understanding, and we did it right under their noses while they watched us with contempt. The remaining hegemony ships began to retreat, their formations breaking down in panic. The myth of their technological superiority had been shattered in a single encounter. As the alien fleet fled, Dr. Chen's voice came through the Aurora's internal comm. Should we pursue? Santos shook her head. No, let them run. Let them spread the word. The galaxy needs to understand that the age of underestimating humanity is over. The Aurora maintained its position as the hegemony ships disappeared into hyperspace, leaving their crippled flagship behind. Earth's greatest deception had come to an end, but its consequences were only beginning to unfold. Turning point. The news of Earth's technological supremacy spread through the galactic hegemony like a shockwave. In the grand halls of the Hegemony Central Command on Axiom Prime, footage from the Aurora encounter played on endless repeat. High Commander Vexthor watched the recordings for the 100th time, his crystalline exoskeleton vibrating with barely contained rage. "How did we miss this?" he demanded of the assembled High Council. "How did a supposedly primitive species develop technology that surpasses our own?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Caxtil, the former observer from Titan, stood before the council, his posture showing his shame. "They fooled us with our own arrogance, High Commander. While we watched them with contempt, they studied us. While we dismissed their failures, they were perfecting technologies we thought impossible." The hegemony's response was swift and predictable. Within days, a massive armada assembled at the Empire's core worlds. 5,000 ships, the largest fleet ever assembled in galactic history, prepared to launch toward the Sol system. The hegemony could not allow the existence of a technological superior species to threaten their dominion over the galaxy. On Earth, the United Earth Council received the intelligence with grim satisfaction. Everything was proceeding exactly as their simulations had predicted. "The hegemony fleet will arrive in 3 days," General Rivera reported to the assembled council. "They're bringing everything they have." Commander Santos, attending via quantum hologram from the Aurora, smiled slightly. "Good. That means we only have to teach them this lesson once." The past week had seen Earth's full military might emerge from hiding. The quantum shield network that had hidden their technological advancement now served as the backbone of their defense grid. Automated defense platforms, each housing weapons that could rewrite local space-time, formed an impenetrable barrier around the solar system. But humanity's true advantage lay not in their weapons, but in their understanding of their enemy. Decades of observation had given them insight into every aspect of hegemony technology, tactics, and psychology. "Begin Operation Checkmate," the council chair ordered. "It's time to show the galaxy the full extent of human ingenuity." Across the solar system, hidden shipyards activated. The Aurora had been impressive, but it was merely the prototype for what was to come. From beneath the surfaces of Mars, Venus, and Mercury, vast fleets of advanced warships emerged. Each vessel incorporated technologies that the hegemony had deemed impossible, combined in ways their rigid thinking had never considered. Dr. Chen, now aboard humanity's new flagship Hyperion, supervised the final preparations. The quantum network is operating at full capacity. Every ship in the fleet is linked, capable of coordinating their actions across space-time itself. The hegemony armada arrived with all the subtlety of a supernova. 5,000 ships dropped out of hyperspace simultaneously, their weapons charged in shields at maximum power. High Commander Vexthor's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Humanity, you have demonstrated technology that threatens the stability of the galaxy. Submit to hegemony authority now, or face extinction." The response came not in words, but in action. Earth's defense grid activated, and suddenly space itself seemed to twist. The quantum network, spanning the entire solar system, began its work. Reality folded and unfolded around the hegemony fleet, creating corridors of distorted space-time that their sensors couldn't comprehend. From these corridors emerged humanity's true fleet. 10,000 ships, each more advanced than the Aurora, each crewed by humans who had trained their entire lives for this moment. The hegemony found themselves surrounded, their carefully planned formation disrupted by technology they couldn't understand. "This is Admiral Elena Santos of the Terran Defense Fleet." Her voice rang clear across space. "You came here expecting to find a primitive species in need of subjugation. Instead, you found humanity at its finest, innovative, determined, and far beyond your ability to control." The battle that followed would be remembered for millennia. The hegemony fleet, for all its size and power, found itself facing an enemy that seemed to bend reality itself. Human ships phased through their strongest shields, weapons struck from impossible angles, and every tactic they attempted was countered before it could begin. Dr. Chen's quantum network proved to be the decisive factor. It allowed the human fleet to coordinate with perfect precision, each ship acting as part of a single organism. The hegemony's rigid command structure couldn't adapt to an enemy that seemed to know their moves before they made them. Within hours, half the hegemony fleet was disabled, their weapons and engines offline, their crews trapped in ships that now drifted helplessly through space. Not a single life had been lost. Humanity had deliberately avoided fatal strikes, demonstrating not just their technological superiority, but their moral restraint. High Commander Vexthor watched in horror as his mighty armada was systematically dismantled by an enemy he had dismissed as primitive just weeks ago. The realization struck him with terrible clarity. The galaxy would never be the same after this day.